Check, check. Check, check. Check, check.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me? Cool. Hey, Trina.
Check, check.
It's
Hey, what's
coming out
up?
of
Can
the
you hear me?
computer. Can you hear me still when I mute it from the computer? Can you still hear me? Is all my voice still coming out? Cool, thank you. Get out. You right there? Push that shit over there if you want. Stretching or engaging? Okay. I'm stingy with hamstring stretching. I'm so. The idea is that you need proper tension. So what is a misalignment for all of us, right? Is going to be anterior pelvic tilt, like this. So your sit bones are where your sit bones are going up or down. Which way? Up, right? What's the front of the pelvis doing? Coming up or down, right? They have to be opposite. Properly tensioned, they're going to pull down. Now, when my belly draws, this might not be mine. I'll have to look in a second. So if these are intentioned properly, boop, this happens. Be a little stingy with the stretches because, so if this is your or fold, you have tight hamstrings, right? So you'll boost up or you'll use another block, you'll try to, most of you, I'm seeing this. Does that look like tight hamstrings? No, right? So it's properly. Now, being that I teach and do corrective exercise, I try to tension my hamstrings all. The idea is that you want to pull the action of your hamstrings in this instance is going to be like we're pulling our heel to our butt. It's bending your knee. So my cue is pull your heels to your butt to your heels isometrically. So it's like I'm pulling this way, but I'm just not bending my knees. And that's how I start to like get them to fire up. Make sense? We'll do a bunch of that today. Let's see if I could take it over here. Let's see. Or maybe I'm not tech savvy, so it's about to come right back and get me. I shouldn't have said that shit. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, we accomplished one thing. Like, we laughed and we smiled a little bit, right? Listen, my life, I always say my goal in life is to just make my I'm like a personal jester. So if like you want to laugh at the shit that I say, feel free. I'm not, no problem. All right, we ready? Take a nice seat, close the eyes, sit up tall. Take a few breaths. Full breath in, complete breath out. Take a few rounds of those. Feel the ribs start to open up, the belly come out as you take a big inhale. Exhale, you're going to feel the belly draw in. You're going to feel the ribs compress. Bless you. You don't feel our diaphragm move, but on the inhale, your diaphragm is going to fall, and it's going to push out on the exhale. Lean back a little bit. Feel those sit bones. In this instance, like balance weight down into the sit bones. That's going to be below our waist. So now we're going to breathe above our waist. We're going to feel the spine starting to lift up. Spinal erectors, the muscles that run up your spine. Throat slides back, so think of the back of your neck. You're going to feel the shoulders start to settle back a touch. We're not trying to pinch our to the midline, but we don't want our shoulders to fall forward either. We're just trying to neutral space. If you feel like you fell forward again, lean back. From listening to yourself breathe, which is already a refinement, right? You don't have to think about your breath at all. It's just going to happen subconsciously. But we're going to use our breath in a few different ways. So start to tap into it. From listening to yourself breathe, you can stay here. If you want to move a little bit further forward, you're going to slow down the beginning of the inhale because we tend to gasp that breath. Slow the beginning down to lengthen it out. On the exhale, we tend to taper off. It's like as we push the air out. Same power from the beginning to the end. Maybe we find Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is where air rebound off the back of your throat, like you're fogging a mirror. I'll try to do it a little bit loud. Now that's a little aggressive because I'm just trying to help here, but that's the idea. It's close to you. Feel the breath turn to movement. On the next inhale, let the exhale bring the fingertips and the knuckle pads to root. Push those together. The heels of your hands should just lightly touch. It's going to be the same thing when we put our hands on the floor. We're going to get heavy underneath the fingertips and the knuckle pads, and we're going to stay light in the heels of the hands. Our practice. Together, the sound of Om. All together. Deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to each other's hearts. Lift the head, open the eyes, release the hands. Put out child's pose. So child's pose is going to be your big toes are going to touch here at the midline. Your knees are going to be wide to the edges of your mat. My arms are going to be up overhead. Now, hands, I want them to be at least shoulders width. If not, for me, mine are way wider than my shoulders because I have a bad shoulder. I need a little more space. So if you're a little tight in the shoulders or you're rehabbing an injury, just go a little wider. You can see on the mat, my hand, right, the palm of my hand is pretty much on the mat, my pointer finger. My middle finger, my ring finger, my pinkies are all on the wood, right? They hang off the mat a little bit. I don't know why they're so stingy with the mat material and they don't make them wider, but they need to be a little bit, your hands need to be a little bit wider than the mat is sometimes. Now push your hands down and forward, take your sit bones to your heels. And now we're going to anchor them there. So we lock them in. That's below the waist. Now breathe above the waist. Feel the spine starting to lengthen. Keep the forearms lifting up. Keep the inner biceps lifting up. If your forehead's still touching the mat, slide the back of the neck to the ceiling. So we're a little more active child's pose. Now start to soften the chest towards the mat, and you're going to feel this nice opener come up the side bodies. Do the chest, arms there. You're going to feel that upper back engaging between your shoulder blades, think like from your head to your butt, as compared to shoulder blades into the midline. Those are rhomboids. You're trying to work spinal erectors here. One more breath. Then as you look forward, walk the hands towards the right side of the mat. Root that left sit. That's below the waist. Start to breathe above the waist. If you want to get muscle here, this lat, it's on the middle upper part of your back. TP your fingers on your left hand, and you're going to feel this stretch through here deepen. On the inhale, you're going to breathe the left side of your ribs to where the front left corner of your mat. And then on the exhale, you're going to even further, and you get that big peel. Inhale, come back to center, soften down the middle. Next inhale, as you look forward, walk your hands towards the left. Sit bone to right heel. Breathe up that right side body. So we're engaging the left side. We're lengthening the right. If I want to get into the lat, I TP the fingers on that right hand. I take that big breath to the front right corner of my mat, and then I walk my hands even a little further to the left. One more breath. Next inhale, come back to center, soften down the middle. Next inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. All right, so for pelvic stability, the muscles we're going to work on right now are going to be your glute med and piriformis. So think of where the dimple of your butt is. We all have these little dimples right here. That's where we're talking about. Now, the way to get to those is, if we were standing, we would push down into our heels. But then the other action is we're going to sweep our inner heels out. So when this happens and those muscles shorten and they're not strong anymore, this is one of the misalignments. So we want to sweep out this way so our heels are straight up to the sky. Then you're going to hug your shins in, and you're going to feel the inner thighs start to engage. You're going to pull your heels to your butt to your heels. Feel your hamstrings engage, right? We're firing up the muscles around the pelvis. Pull your pelvic floor up. Pull your belly button to your spine. Now we're locking in. Pull the shutters closed. Here's your shutters. All right, shutters going to try to blow open. Top of the abdominal wall. Close them. Now slide the back of the neck to the ceiling. Bring the chin to the chest just a little bit so your gaze is right across your fingertips, and breathe low mountain. This is an isometric engagement, right? So you should be super fired up. You're hugging every muscle into bone. If I tried to come up and move you, right, you're going to go nowhere. That's how solid you are. Think of the name of the pose, right? Low mountain. One more breath. And then from here, work your cat-cow. Inhale, lift the sit bones, maybe reach up through the crown of the head as you look up. Exhale, round the back. Look to your belly, lengthen your sit bones to your heels. Your inhale, arch, and your exhale, round. And just move between the two. Counted out the breath. So if the inhale was 2 seconds, we want to arch for 2 seconds. If the exhale was 2 seconds, we're going to round for the 2 seconds. And that's how we're going to stay with the breath. Your breath will change throughout the practice, especially when we start to link up postures. Up a little bit, the breath is going to have to come up a little bit. But right now, it's very controlled, right? So you can move nice and slow here. One more, and then come to a neutral position. So find that flat back again. Take a breath. Right arm up, left leg back, spinal balance. Now, anterior pelvic tilt, if your heel is up like this, you're an anterior pelvic tilt. What we're looking for is extension out of the hip. So only have your toes off the floor, maybe about like 4 or 6 inches. Exhale, lower. Left arm up, right leg back. Same action, do the legs, right? That left heel, inner heel, sweeping out. Shins are hugging in, even though they're not next to each other. Heels are pulling to the butt. Here, even for the quads, kneecap to waist. Exhale, lower. Right arm up, left leg back. The pelvic floor is drawing in, the belly's in, the shutters are closed. Exhale, lower, left arm up, right leg back, and now reach back out of the heel, forward out of the fingertips and the crown of the head, even side to side. Exhale, lower, put it with your breath. Inhale, right arm up, left leg back, exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm up, right leg back, exhale, lower. Now remember the 2 or 3. 2 seconds to lift, well, however long your breath is. 2 seconds to lift up, 2 seconds to lower down. Don't lose the belly. I mean, most of y'all know, you're going to hear me say something about your belly on every single pose. Right? I don't do that because our bellies just hold their space, right? It's because mine included. They want to let go. You got to hold that. Started with the right arm and the left leg, finish with the left arm and the right leg. We'll meet back in low mountain. Yeah, nice pace, y'all. Even here in low mountain, what's the misalignment? This. I need to be this way. Belly button in. See, like that's too much, right? Just like that's not enough. I got to find where that neutral space is. Now step back to plank. In plank, you can see my shoulders are stacked up on top of my wrist crease, and I'm in dorsiflexion, reaching back out of my heels. My toenails are closer to my shin. This is plantar flexion, like a high heel. We're never going to go here. But we are going to go from dorsiflexion, and when we go to chaturanga, we bring our feet straight up and down, but we never go here. So set this up. Now, this will be your distance for your downward dog. Push back to downward dog. Now bend the knees here on the first one if you want to soften it up. Some of you, it already feels good to stretch those hamstrings, right? But you have to engage muscles before we stretch them. So as we bend our knees, otherwise we just yank on the attachments. So we want to get through the fibers of the muscle, right? So here, as we bend our knees, it'll be a little bit easier to heels to the butt and the butt to the heels. Now in the arms, before we get to the legs, you got to hug the hands in to the midline. You got to keep the forearms lifting up away from the mat. Keep the inner biceps lifting up away from the mat. Slide the back of your neck forward towards the front of the room where the ceiling and the wall meet so your head isn't hanging to the midline. Go back to the core. Now as you push your hands down and forward, take your chest back towards your toenails. Now if you want to stretch the legs, right, pull your heels to your butt to your heels, and then start to straighten the legs a little bit. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Stay with your breath. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. So now we're getting a little more dynamic in through the hip. Working from flexion in your downward dog to extension into your plank. We're working in through the shoulders, right, as the arms are going above and below the head. Bless you. One more. This time I forward to plank. See, this is where I go here with my feet. As my elbows bend, inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. So tack your toenails flat. Pull your hands back to you like you're pulling your belly forward. Shoulders go back and down away from your ears. When you're ready, lower your chest. Push up through plank. Knees count. Push back to downward dog. Keep your head from hanging. Keep sliding the back of your neck forward. Activate the muscles in the back of the neck. Kind of like you're looking across the line from the heels of your hands. Now, if it felt better to bend the knees, bend the knees. If it felt better to straighten the legs, straighten the legs. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. After your 3 breaths, back to chaturanga or lower your chest. Push up through plank. Back to downward dog. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana, mountain pose, standing version. So when you place your feet, the first point is your heel. The second point is your pinky toe mound. Here's your big toe mound. So you're going to push into your heel. Then you're going to stretch the outside of the foot forward till the pinky toe mound roots. Then you're going to widen your foot to the midline. You'll see your toes spread. And when this big toe touches, you're going to see up real nice. Push into the heels, the inner heels out. There's glute med and piriformis. Hug shins in, adductors. Heels to butt, hamstrings. Kneecaps to waist. Quad. Pelvic floor. Shutter, a lot of shit, right? Always. Shoulders are back a little bit. Oh, me saying shit, I promise you. Slide the shoulder back, the head and throw back, yeah. Breathe. Yeah, nice, y'all. Inhale, the right hand, grab that left wrist. Take that side bend to the right. Now split the energy from the heel down into the heel. We're gonna root. Inhale, come up. swap. Whatever like angle you're on. Right here, we're straight. So inhale, I go up. Exhale, I go just a little bit. Whatever angle I'm on. Inhale, I'm going to peel up. Exhale, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Yep, and I'm going to do that again. And I just keep working the pose. Nice peel off this hip bone right here. I'll come up. Release the hands. Exhale the hands to the tops of the thighs. Back. Your quads come up, and they attach here at these hip bones. So we're taking the heels of our hands right there, and we're persuading a little. So we're pushing down into our hands with our arms and the weight of our upper trunk. Yep, keep your belly in. One more breath. I don't know what happened to the music. I'll find it for you in a little bit. Push down, rise up, or so I hope. Curl back. A lot of balance going on with my statements today. Oh, no, I am tech savvy. No, I'm not. But wait, I am. No, I'm not. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. So there's those hamstrings we talked about, right? Bring your hands to connection. Primally, when your hands are off the floor, your body is not worried about stretching your hamstrings. It's worried about your face hitting the floor, right? So we got to set ourselves up and feel safe. And then when we feel safe, our body goes, now I can let his hamstring stretch. So what you're going to do is work from those heels again. Keep the heels heavy. Push into the heels, sweep the inner heels out, hug the shins in, heels to butt, kneecaps to waist, right? So those legs are charged up. We're stabilizing through the pelvis. We're working from the front and that belly button. Look forward, and you're going to feel your spine like it's reaching out, right? Drag your fingers back to your toes, and it'll pull your spine out even more. And now exhale, fold into the pose. Yeah, see, now that your body goes, nah, he's all right. Now I can let the back of the legs open. It's really your whole back line. So it comes up the calves, hamstrings, and then those spinal erectors all the way to your skull. Inhale, look forward. Inhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step the right leg back, lunge. So high on your fingertips are your blocks. So the weight here is in my legs, right? I don't want to have the weight like this into my arms. They're just to connect. Remember we said we need our body to feel safe and have a foundation to build off of? So that's what the hands are. Now as you push down, you're going to rip your front heel back. And you're going to rip your back toes forward, right? Like if we were on a sheet of ice, they would splay this way. You're trying to do exact opposite. You're trying to hug in. And you're going to pull all that power in. Go to pelvic floor again, go to the belly, go to the shutters. Now with all that power, inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 1 crescent. So the front knee stays stacked up on top of the ankle, and it's tracking this second toe, the one next to your big toe. So if your knee's falling in, you're going to widen it out a little bit. If it's blowing out the side, you're going to hug it in a little bit. Now bring that right hip forward. Go back to pelvic floor, belly, and shutters. Reach up through your thumbs. You're going to get nice and tall. Now maybe curl back in the pose. One more breath. Exhale the hands to the blocks. Flip them up nice and tall. Slowly straighten your front leg. Square the right hip forward and down. Look forward. There's the spine climbing out of the waist. Now, if you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to fold, you're going to fold to the inside of that left leg. But see where I'm looking? I'm not doing this. This is reinforcing a misalignment. I want to be this way, out in front. Right? That's phone back. We definitely don't need to reinforce that. Now we're opening up the back of the leg here. You feel from the sit bone to the knee, but then you feel the front of the shin here as the foot is in plantar flexion. One more breath. Bend into that lead knee, lunge, step forward, swing the arms up, take a big reach. Maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Place the hands. Step the left. Lunge. Hips width apart here. We do have balance beam poses like warrior and Parsva. This is not one. This is hips width apart. Now push down. Think of what the Q rip is. That's a powerful Q, right? I'm not saying draw. Rip that heel back, lots of power. Rip those back toes forward. Hug the shins in, right? Like we've been making the legs solid up into the hips. So you pull the energy up into the hips and you feel it root up the legs and you feel it root into the hips. Just like the core, right? Pull it up. When you're ready, come up with like 20-pound weights. Like there's an intention to bringing those arms overhead. Yep, square that left hip forward and down if you need to, that touch. Pull back up, get tall like you're squeezing a beach ball. Hug your forearms in. Reach up through your thumbs. And now maybe curl back into the pose. Nice, y'all. One more breath. Exhale the hands down to the blocks. Flip them up. Slowly straighten that front leg. Re-square that left hip forward and down. Look forward. Climb the spine out of the waist. Maybe fold down the inside of the right leg. Back leg, you're reaching your heel behind you. Couple more breaths. Keep sliding the back of your neck or your throat to where to the ceiling in this instance. One more breath. As you look forward, bend into the lead knee, lunge, step forward. Swing the arms up, big reach. Maybe curl back that little bit. Keep the hips from coming forward. Curl back in the upper back, your thoracic spine. Inhale, come up, bring that right hand behind your back, left hand to your elbow. Mountain pose, just with a shoulder opener. So like if I had shorts on, you'd see all the muscles in my legs right now are super, you can see from my feet, right? Super fired up. Same thing, pelvic floor, belly is drawing in. Now as I push my head in, stand up tall. In the tricep. A lot of other shit. I'm doing this more with lat, but you definitely feel a tricep, little serratus, little pec. Exhale, release. Inhale the arms up. Swap. This is a better look than this. This is tough for you to do. It'd be better to lean forward this way. You can use, see, then I could push my head back into my forearm, and I can use that feedback to work my spine instead of working my hips forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Walk the hands out in front of you. Use your block. It'll help you boost up a little bit. Reach the right leg straight back. Come to standing split. Now reach your right heel back to the wall behind you till your left heel gets nice and heavy. And you can move your toes on that left foot. Because the weight wants to pull you forward, right? Keep lifting the inner thigh up. Keep the toes on the back foot pointing straight down. One more breath. Exhale, lower the leg. Take a breath. When you're ready, side two, reach the left leg straight back. The reason we hold poses, right, is to create stabilization, strength in our body. We don't hold to suffer, right? We hold because this has given our muscles the chance to stabilize themselves, to hold the pelvis in place while we're on one leg. One more breath. Then lower that left leg. Walk the hands back. Back as the knees bend. Swing the arms up. Big reach. I'd get somebody sit back chair pose. Here we go. Charge the legs up. Now, to get pelvic stability, you gotta go hip. If your knees bent first, you did not turn on glute median piriformis. So hip hinge back. Yep. Charge the legs, core, arms, lift them up, sit back deeper. Charge those legs, core, arms, sit back deeper. One more time, work from the heels all the way up through the fingertips and the crown of the head. Push down, rise up. Nice, y'all. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Keep those legs fiery. Exhale, fold. Take the right hand to the outside of the left calf. Left hand can be fingertips. It could be here on your block. It could be here on your hip.
Some of you are going to want to flare the arm up. If you're going to flare the arm up, you take your right hand and you turn the back of your hand to the outside of your left foot. Then your left arm would reach up to the sky. Yep, inhale, come back to center. Soften down the middle, and then swap side two. So fingertips, block, hip. If I want to reach, I'm going to spin the outside of that left hand to the outside of that right ankle. And then as I reach the right arm up, maybe I even look up. I play with the balance a little more. Nice. Inhale, come back to center. Next inhale, look forward. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Move through your vinyasa 3 times. So start to flow through a little bit. Stay with your breath. Work at your pace. All right, your breath creates that tempo for the practice. Remember we said as our heart rate comes up, our breath is going to go a little faster, which means our vinyasa is going to have to go a little bit faster. That's part of the game. Roll to the outside of the right foot, stack the left foot on top or in front. When I hit this early with y'all, it's more for the core. So what we're going to try to do is stack that left hip up on top of the right. Keep turning the bicep forward on that right arm. Maybe look up. Inhale, come back to plank. I'll show you the back side with the shoulder. Push back, downward dog. So see, as I roll here, roll to the outside of the left foot, inside the right, I want to turn my bicep forward to the front of the room. That's going to root me into my shoulder, get the friends in the game. When I bring that right hip forward to stack it up on top of the left, I make these obliques have to start stabilizing my body. Inhale, come back to plank. Push back, downward dog. Move through one vinyasa. Keep pushing the hands down and forward. Take the chest back towards the toenails. Reach the right leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel. Come up, bent arm to bent knee. Plug the left arm in. Sweep the bicep up along the cheek. This is a balance beam pose. So my front heel is in line with my back arch. If you want to take the right hand down to the block, feel free. Now to open the inside of that right thigh, we want to right sit bone back to our right heel, or we want to sweep our right heel towards the wall with the window and the door. And the knee is going to peel towards the bricks the opposite way. You want to rotate open a little bit. Go pelvic floor, go belly, go shutters. Now I take the top of the ribs back and the bottom of the ribs forward. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Bow to the inside of that right thigh, humble warrior. Look to the front left corner of your mat. You don't want to look to the midline, right? That's going to let the upper back around. Maybe reach the arms up, like overhead. Deepen that stretch. One more breath. Exhale the hands down to the floor. Spin the back heel up. Dog. Move through one vinyasa. Shit's getting real now, right? It's getting challenging. That's the game. Stay with your breath. It's going to do that the whole time, right? It's going to ebb and flow. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through. Lunge. Spin the back heel. Now, if you have any problems rooting the thigh back, before you come up, bring the hands to the inside of your left foot and stick your butt back. Yeah. Look, that's thighs back. Now bring the elbow to the knee. If this happened, that's thighs forward. We got to go this way. This is the foundation of the pose. This knee keeps pulling in because these muscles are stretching, right? So we got to work from a good space here and then let this open, right, little by little. You're going to sweep the arm up whenever you're ready. If you can take the hand down to the block or the floor, go for it. Inside the foot tends to be a little more. A little than the other. Then maybe we try to rotate open, for the ribs back and the bottom of the ribs forward. Maybe I looking right in. One more breath. Put, inhale, come up tall to that warrior two. Now when your hands go behind your back, if your left pinky was under, right pinky goes this time. Bow to the inside of that left thigh. Look to the front right corner of the mat. Keep the power in the legs. The freedom here, right, is coming through the opening the inside of the left thigh, stretching the chest and the arms. One more breath. Always that play of power and freedom. Exhale the hands down to the floor, spin the back heel up, downward dog, move through one vinyasa. Exhale, lower your knees. Take a break. Okay. Child's pose. Vajrasana is where you go like this with your feet. I do this with you all a lot. This is stretching your toes in the arches of your feet. Now, this might be too intense, so you can go hero's pose, but what would be a little more effective to opening this up is if it gets too intense, just inhale, come up, wiggle your toes, right? And then back again. You can also, if you take your pointer finger and your thumb to touch, it's called Jnana Mudra. Remember the heels of your hands, you're going to bring them to that crease of your thigh again. And you let your fingers just drape over your thigh like this, and you can close your eyes if you want. This shit gets better in your feet. It's intense right now, especially if this is new to you. Now, we don't want to just bear weight down into our feet. We want to hug our shins in. We're sweeping the heels out, just the same, right? Hugging the shins in. Now, your knees are bent, but the idea is that when you hug in, you feel yourself lift up. We want that. Take another breath here. And then when you're ready, everybody, if you're in Vajrasana, inhale, come up, open your eyes, bring your hands down. If you're in child's pose, we'll meet all fours, hands and knees. While we're here, we're resting a little bit. We'll get this stretch in. Pull the belly buttons in, right? Mine wanted to do this. Got to go this way, right? Remember, this is too much, but this is not enough. So I got to feel where that space is. I want to feel my pelvis stabilize from pulling the power in my legs and my core. Inhale, unwind, sit back on your heels, give that little spin. We can go some options with that today if you want. Inhale, come up, exhale, down. I've been playing with this a little bit with y'all over the past few weeks. So turn your hands out. You can stay here. Awesome place. You want to go further? The hands come to the midline so the pinkies touch. Maybe you step back to plank. You want to go Mayurasana. I always show y'all from the child's pose. So you want to bring your toes together and your knees wide. Then you want to walk, like come forward so that your elbows are going into your belly. As you push down, you're going to lift up. Yeah, you got to go forward. Yep, keep going forward. Keep looking forward. Yeah, the block. So, my little speech. We all have something that's in the way once in a while. I do not have something that's in the way in this instance, okay? So if you do have something that gets in the way a little bit here, you take the block to your belly like this. We all have our turns, right? Something gets in the way sooner or later. Here, we can move it out of the way by taking the block like this. Now, as I look forward, see the space I have? I could work the pose from here. keep looking forward, keep looking forward. Yes, 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 keep going forward, keep going forward, keep going forward. Yes. What muscles are going to lift your legs off the floor? Glutes and your hamstring over here, this lateral one. Right? That's what's going to extend the hip back up. That's a challenge, especially when you're abducted, you're out, right? Those muscles are shortened. So it's going to be a little more challenge to help lift up there. But that's the game, right? All right, let's meet plank. Push back downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. Start to rev that engine up a little bit more. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back a little bit. Inhale, come up, exhale, hands in front. All right, so we're gonna go Trikonasana triangle to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So we'll play with some balance there. If you're not sure what that is, that's here. So this is certainly going to be a challenging pose, right? You got to put the shit in perspective sometimes. We're about to go into external rotation. We're about to stand on one leg. We're going to bring our arm to the floor. Our other arm we're going to take to the sky, right? And then someone's going to say some shit like, take your thigh back and try to look up. I'm that person, right? It's supposed to be really edgy. So find what feels good to you. If you need to move over to the wall, use the wall, right? These, the wall, the straps, the blocks, those are all progressions to your practice, not regressions. It's you knowing that there's a little bit of help is going to make it better, right? That's what we want. So let's start from triangle because we need to start from that external rotated position. It's not really good to do this to your body, pull away from the inside of the hip. So let's start in this triangle position. Now, triangle is a balance beam pose. It's sometimes tough to find what the distance is. So you always see me bend into my lead knee like this because I know Parsva. I know my Warrior 2. This one's a little more challenging. So that's a way you can measure. We said the thigh has to go back. For everybody, our thigh's going to try to do this. This is the misalignment. So take this left thigh back. Yep. Take the left hip back. Take the left ribs back. Bring the arms out to the side. Get nice and tall. Now, these hips, that femur is going to try to pop. That little, we don't want that. So you got to rip your feet together. Strong here. Yep. Get nice and tall. Breathe up out of the waist. Keep ripping your feet together. When you're ready, hinge at the right side of the hip. That little pop is the head of the femur sliding around the hip socket. It's not stable, right? But when you rip those feet together, and I've been working on that with y'all, right, for a while, that's super challenging. Now open the right side body. So breathe, inhale, get long from hip to armpit. Spin the right shoulder back. Yes. Maybe look up. One more breath. Exhale that left hand to your hip. Bend your right knee. You can either like drag your foot as you come up or step up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Your block would be your friend here for sure. Now your hand is out in front of you, the distance from your hip to your armpit. It's just your side body length. So if we're too far, right, we're not going to have enough muscle energy. If we're in too much, we're not going to be able to organically open. So we got to find that neutral position. Now kick the toes forward because this always happens. That's thighs forward. We got to go this way. Yeah. Maybe look up. One more breath. Now lower that left hip down. Standing split. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold over that right leg. Lift the left heel to the sky. Do that again. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. One more time. Feel that big opener in the back of that right thigh. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. When you're ready, lower the left leg. Knees bend, swing the arms up, big reach. Exhale, hands in front. How'd that go? It looked pretty good, right? This is like my nemesis pose, or from the door, from the first time I ever tried it, wobbling all over the place. Most of y'all know, like, balance is my shit. It's that all the time in my own exercises, right? But sometimes when you fall over, you don't get mad. You just laugh, you set it back up, we go again. Right? That's part of owning your practice, right? That's the practice. The practice isn't about getting it right all the time. right? The practice is about moving through, learning from it, right, if it doesn't go well. Now, push down, start to rip those feet together. Take the arms out, get nice and tall. Let's see if we can keep those hips from popping. Work the legs here, stabilize that femur. When you're ready, hinge the left side of the hip. Yeah, keep the power in the legs. Keep opening up that left side body from hip to armpit. Heel. Maybe we start to look up because that'll start challenging the balance a little bit. We'll build our way up, right? Instead of just like tons of stress. We want to work positively through the stress. Now bring the right hand to the hip. Bend the left knee. When you're ready, kick up into half, 2. Keep the heel heavy on that left foot. So how do you do that? You reach the right heel back to the wall behind you. Then the toes can move on that left foot. We want that. We take the thigh back, so we kick the toes forward. Ugh. Yeah, maybe the arm goes to the sky. Maybe we look up. Nice, y'all. One more breath. Now lower that right hip. Inhale, look forward. Fold over that left leg, right heel to the sky. 2 more. Inhale, look forward. Keep that heel heavy on the left foot. Exhale, fold. 1 more time. Big opener on the back of that left leg through those hamstrings. And then lower that when you're ready. Lower that right leg. Walk the hands back in. Sit back as the knees bend. Swing the arms. Maybe curl back. Inhale. Breath. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Work through 1 vinyasa. Exhale, lower the knees. Okay, so the challenge. When you stretch your hamstrings open, muscles only cramp when they're short. They don't cramp when they're long, right? So right now the hamstrings are short. So when we stretch our quads, we got to be a little conscious on how we're going to do that, because as our heel goes to our butt, for some of us, as we just lengthen those hamstrings out, right, the muscle shortens, it might want to cramp. So go slow here. I'll give you a couple options on how far you can go back to take that even deeper. So before you sit back, you want your toenails flat here. Vajrasana, they were curled, right? Hero's pose, the toenails are flat. Take your thumbs. It's called bisecting your calf. The calf muscles have 2 heads, medial, inside and out. So you're taking your thumbs and you're going to push in the middle of that. And you're going to push the outside calf away. Now you're going to sit heels. It does 2 things. 1, it just gets the calf out of the way a little bit. And 2, it creates a little internal rotation. Right? See how my thighs are turning a little bit? Unsickle your feet, so turn your feet out a touch. Now, the space between our knees will all be different. But for everyone, the outsides of our shins will be parallel with the sides of our mats. Remember, we said we don't want to just bear dead weight down. So I want to flick my toes into the mat. I want to hug my shins in. See how I start to easier in through my knees. Now, right now, we're stretching the quads here towards the bottom. But the hip's still in flexion. So the only one that's doing the hip is rectus femoris, this middle one. Deeper into this, you take your hands behind you and see I'm coming from flexion to extension. Now I'm already here, right? I'm good. Some of you are going to want to go back even further. I know some of your practices, right? This is going to be accessible for you. Now I'll talk you all through this, how to do it safe. So you want to flick the toenails down, you want to hug those shins in, and inhale, you're going to breathe up out of your waist. Exhale, I'm going to go belly to spine, pubic bone to the ceiling. It's filling in my lumbar spine. Now I can go back a little more. Now I'm going to do that again. Exhale. Bones to the backs of the knees, however you want to think of your pelvis, front or back. And now I keep working that as far as I can go. But keep hugging in. Don't let your knees splay out. Keep that. You can see I even kind of like gently persuade my belly button to my spine with my hands a little bit to keep my lumbar spine nice and safe. 1 more breath. When you're ready, inhale, come up nice and tall. Yep, all 4s. And then just reach the right leg back, open up the knee and the hip. lower it down, swap side 2. The clock is moving really fast. I don't know if it feels like that for y'all, but for me, I'm like, how many more things I wanted to do? Lower that knee down. Here, we can do this one together. This one most of you know. So just take your feet a little bit back, walk back, come to squat pose, Malasana. Your toes. Lifting up onto a blanket or a bolster will help you a little bit. So see, if I need a little bit of space, I just bring my heels to my blanket. If I don't have the blanket, I roll the back of my mat up like this. And then I could put my heels, right, like this on the mat. Now I got to engage these, right, which means I got to hug in first. Now I can push my elbows away to stretch. We're a little deeper here. Now we're adductors, right, as compared to a little deeper adductors in those warrior or the Parsva. And now I drive my elbows down into my knees. It helps me reignite my upper back a little bit. Now, if you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to work crow, you're lifting your hips up. You're going to place your hands down. Right now, your knees are on the outside of your arms. You can stack them onto the back. I like to do it from the outside. It's more muscle energy. Then I'm going to walk my feet together so my big toe mounds touch at the middle. Now look forward. And as I keep bringing the weight forward, my feet are going to get light. When my feet get light, I heels to my butt. There's those hamstrings again. And I push my hands down into the floor. Yeah, keep looking forward. Yes. Awesome. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to a seated position. Take your time. Bend your right leg. Bring your left foot, either your right hand underneath the ankle and your left hand underneath your calf, or you're going to bring the foot into the crease of the elbow. Sit up nice and tall. Now we're opening up the back of the hip, back here, baby cradle, right? A little side to side as the name implies. Look at my foot, super active, like I'm pushing on a gas pedal. What wants to happen? Sickle, ooh, that goes right to my knee. I gotta push out of my big toe mount, and I wanna pull the pinky toe side of the foot back to me. You wanna stay here, stay here. You wanna work Asta Vakrasana, you're taking the left leg high, you're bringing it high on. You're gonna squeeze your arm, otherwise it's gonna slip. Place your hands down, just like downward dog. Right, here's some core. Right ankle over left. Feet to the outside of your left hand. Bend both elbows. I always see this. The right one locked out. You got to bend both of them, and you got to go forward here. I'm going to squeeze my thighs together, so I'm wedging the inside of my left thigh to the back of my left arm. Right ankle over left. This down. Now I got to go ankle, right over left. Now take your feet to the outside of your hand. Yes. Now work both elbows. Think chaturanga. Bend both elbows, just like chaturanga would be. Yep. There. Bend your elbows. Bring your chest to the floor. That's going to bring your hips up. Bend your elbows. Bend your elbows. Yeah, you did it. Dude, listen. If you've never done this shit before and you went like this today, success, right? Like, you did it. Remember about the practice? That's like yoga already took all the anxiety out of the situation. It was like, it's just a practice. Because what's going to happen, you'll work for this pose, right? You'll work for a couple weeks. You're like, finally you'll get it. You're like, oh, this was great. And yoga's like, yeah, great day. Here's something else, right? It will always do that to you. It will always say, great job, but here's something else. So you just don't get worked up over that shit, right? You just keep practicing. Come on, try side two. Like most things in our practice, one moment it doesn't want to work, and the next you're doing your Instagram post on the fire hydrant, right? Pose or some shit. You've seen it. You know you've seen it.
A little side to side. Back here. And then stay here. Stay in, opening up the hip, right? Awesome. If you want to work the arm balance, same awesome. So you're going to take the right leg up. I take my arm up my leg. I place my hands down like I take my left ankle over my right. Then I bring my feet to the outside of my right hand. See, I got to go this way. My elbows. Then I'm going to squeeze my thighs together to come up. It's just push that left arm leg to come out. So this one stays bent. Well, no, that one just bent more on the left. So if you straighten it that little bit, it'll pop it out. We're just talking about unwinding, right? Because remember, it doesn't stop, right? It's yoga's like how you unwind the legs, right? It's just always going to keep going. So that's what we're kind of talking about. All right, grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. There'll be plenty of room for everybody. I've had 50 plus of y'all up, so be plenty of room. You like to invert in the middle of the room, you're more than welcome to. Okay, so stay in the middle of the room if you want to. We can move the curtain here, the doors. If you're at home and you don't have the wall to kick up on, you lay on your back. Bend. And then as you take the right and the thigh, and take a bunch of breaths, and then you can swap into side two for a bunch of breaths. If you are at home and it's not your day to invert, you're more than welcome to go legs up the wall or do a pose that feels good to you. I'll talk everybody through downward dog and L pose. If you want to work your handstand, your headstand, your tripod, your pincha, anything you want to mess with on your own, feel free to go for it. Okay? There's definitely lots of room. All those mats, every mat on every wall can move over a little bit. This wall, 3 spots left. This wall over here has another spot. I see someone going in there. Back wall, I see some spots over on the back. I see at least 3 spots on the back wall. So if you're going to stick with me in downward dog or L pose, we're going to meet all fours, hands and knees. Your feet are touching the wall, the baseboard there. If you're going to work your handstand, your headstand, your tripod, your pincha, go for it on your own. All right? So with me, from all fours, take a couple breaths, lift the knees and the hips, come to a short downward dog. When you're ready, step 1 foot up the wall and then the 2nd foot up the wall. If your knees are bent, you're in downward dog inverted. If your legs are straight, you're in L pose. We did standing split today. So from your L pose, maybe you want to lift the one leg up to the sky. Do the split, right? Make that shape again. Yeah. And then you stay as long as feels good to you. And you come down, you take a couple breaths, and maybe you try again. If you're inverted out, legs up the wall or whatever feels good to you. When you kick up, exhale. Don't hold your breath. That's the common tendency. Exhale. Exhale is going to do a couple things. It's going to relax your mind. More importantly, it's going to engage your core. Right? Anytime we exhale, remember we said our belly draws in? That's what we want. So we could use the breath, right, to optimize this moment. Nice, y'all. Like, think of the challenge. We talk about all the challenge, right? Think of the challenge in inversion. It's for you to truly go ass over head and then to soften your breath, right? And find all these different little bits and pieces to work the pose a little bit more difficult. And then what's going to happen? You're going to make the inversion more challenging, right? So it's going to keep going. Yes, dude, that's so close. That was so close. Yeah, because it's like the whole, there's so much hip flexion. It has to go in the spine a little bit to get it to, like you got to flex this a little bit. Dude, that was really close. Look forward more when you come out of it. That was so close. And it's like this far from like being like, it's on and then it slips off. It's like, ugh.
And give yourself like maybe another minute or so. And when you're ready, let's meet on our backs. So, pretty fiery class. So, if you want to be with your back bend, right? You take the block. This is your sacrum. The sacrum is the top of your pelvis. So it's this solid part right here. Where your crack is too low, where your lumbar is. Now we tend to go low and medium. Some of you go. I do sometimes too. If that's what your flavor is, go for it. I'll bridge the first one and then wheel the second one. But if you want to do supported bridge, you want to do 2 bridges or 2 wheels, right? Whatever feels good to you. So let's start on our backs. Knees are bent. Be spun in. Right. Shit that's going right. It's for the shit that's going wrong, right? So since the heels want to collapse, automatically spin the inner heels out. Just like we're going to hug the shin. Now nice and strong to the floor. We want that. Head and shoulders back. You could even robot your arms if you need a little more support. Legs up, or slowly lift the hips. Take the shoulders under a little bit. Maybe interlace the hands back. We made that shape today. The belly's to the spine. The sit bones are to the backs of the knees. So the lumbar is nice and open. Back bends aren't in your lumbar spine. They're in your thoracic, that middle upper back. So you should feel like right underneath your shoulder blades is where the back bend's happening. To make that a little deeper, gently push your feet down and forward. And you're going to feel the bend underneath the shoulder blades. One more breath. If the them, as you with the sacrum flat, spine. Then take the feet wide, let touch, one hand on your heart, one hand on your low belly. Nice, y'all. I always say like lowering down to get that sacrum to land flat. That's like the detail. That's stabilizing your pelvis. Now in the second one, I'll first bring you up in the bridge and then wheel, play. Doing supported bridge, awesome. The knees, reset the feet. Bring the arms back along the sides or robot, whatever's your flavor. Start with the neutral pelvis, so sacrum's flat, head and shoulders are back. Charge the legs, core, slowly lift the hips. Place your hands behind your back, swap the hand hold. Place your hands wide. When you do that, your elbows are going to with the outside of your shoulder. Want that. And push down to come. Curve to make this a little more accessible. Lift the heels up. Stay engaged as you lower down. Take the feet wide. Let the knees touch. If the right hand was on your heart last time, left hand on your heart, opposite hand on your below belly. Go back to the breath. Full breath in, complete breath out. Then open the knees and windshield wiper side to side. Next time they settle to the right, let them stay there. Pull your left heel to your left sit bone, lateral quad stretch. If you want to go ankle over the knee, you certainly can. But the idea here is to not use your right foot or ankle knee to the floor. It's to persuade your left knee forward in front of you. If you just crank your knee to the floor, it's going to mess up these little SI joints back here, specifically on this left side. Just so nothing happens, and then we persuade, and you'll feel the fibers of the quad starting to stretch. It's one of those icky muscles for us, that vastus lateralis. Release the ankle if it's there. Inhale, come back. Settle to the left. Right heel to right sit bone. Maybe left ankle over the knee if that feels good. Otherwise, the foot stays. I connect to that belly so I stay safe, and I start to persuade that knee forward. Release the ankle if it's there. Inhale, come back to center. Take the legs out straight, reach the arms. And spread the toes. Give yourself a little hug or make a couple small circles on your low back or on that pelvic, on the sacrum. Keep your knees. Inhale your right leg up, open the hip, bring the ankle over the knee. Supine pigeon. Hug the left knee to your chest. Interlace the hands behind your thigh. When you're ready, release the back of the thigh, lower the foot to the floor, then unwind that right leg. Take a breath. Inhale that left leg up, open the hip, ankle over knee. Hug the right knee towards your chest, interlace the hands behind your thigh, swap the hand hold. This time as the right knee moves closer to my face, my left knee moves further away. You know that belly's in. You know those shutters are closed, right? Keep all that nice and... Release the back of the thigh, lower the foot to the floor, unwind the top leg, reach the leg overhead. Roll towards that left hip, take the twist. Right shoulder stays rooted here. In this twist, you bend your left knee. I like to reach out of the heel on the left leg because I like to replicate so human movement, your movements are going to be standing, walking, running, and throwing. Right here, it's more like the run that I'm mimicking. But that's my flavor. I like the extension out of one hip and the flexion in the other. If you want to bend that knee to soften it up, awesome. Here, if you lose the shutters, though, you manipulate the ribs. So keep those shutters closed, and you're going to feel that the twist happens obliques and through the center. Hug your left knee to your chest. Take your right leg out. Roll towards that right hip. Left shoulder stays rooted. Shutters are closed. Play in the legs what feels good to you, either the bent knee on the right leg or maybe even look away from the bent knee. If you have any neck issues, in twists, you let your head stay in line with your chest. But if you want to look away from your bent knee, into your neck, your cervical. Come back to center, take the legs out, reach the arms up overhead. Wide, come to happy baby asana. Wider than your shoulders. Sacrum is flat. So you want to go sit bones towards the floor. See, this fly to the sky, especially if I hold my toes. So I let go of my and I hold the outsides of my knees. Then draw the knees towards the nice opener in the inside of the thighs, in the back of the hip. If you want to go hamstrings again, reach one leg out or reach both legs out. You can ride, whatever feels good to you. And when you're ready, inhale the knees to center. Exhale the legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. Beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. I'm going to talk everyone through laying flat. You're more than welcome to do a variation that feels good to you. The blanket behind the knees. If you're going to do this, and then here, back, we let the legs stretch out. We let the roll open. Come along the sides. And as the open palm turns to the sky, let the shoulders settle. Let the head rest back. Maybe let the eyes close. Opens from the mouth. The body gets heavy. The mind softens back to the breath. Exhale clears and removes and makes space. Each inhale draws in something new, the change. And the heart opens as it gets ready to move the practice from the mat into the yoga of life, the practice of life, which is always full of challenges. Some that are accessible, some that are a little more demanding. But whether it's in the yoga of life or here on the mat, we attack those moments the same way. When it's tough, we take a breath. We engage, or we set a foundation, we engage and we express. Just like we do in our practice. We took the breath, we made a foundation that we could build from, we engaged and connected ourselves, and we expressed out. And with each breath, there's going to be another opportunity, another chance to reset. Begin here to draw in a deeper breath. Feel the breath as it washes over the body, your toes, your fingers, the crown of your head, through your heart. We reawaken that better version of ourselves. As the fingers and the toes wiggle, let the arms and the legs stretch or reach, moving away. Take your hands underneath your head, make a little pillow. And just take When you're ready, you can push your hands down, come up to a seated position. We'll meet together with our eyes closed and our hands. And one more time to seal in our practice, our time together with our Kula, our yoga family. Together, the sound of Om. All together, deep breath in. Beautiful. As we saw, head to our heart. That determination, that challenge, the love and the support you always give each other. It's to you that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, crew. Good to see everybody. Questions or anything? Feels weird, grab you before you go. If not, I'll see y'all soon. Thanks, crew. Yeah.
The lowering, I just like, I can't, and I feel like I strain my arms.
You feel it right here?
Yeah.
That's your rotator
Like,
cuff.
yeah.
So it's called your supraspinatus is